Hi, and welcome back to Venusian Wave. We are going to talk all things Pluto today. So wherever Pluto and Aquarius is transiting into your chart, we're going to go through each rising sign, the house associated with where Pluto will be associated with that sign, and we're going to pull cards for the general theme of this transit for your rising sign, sun and moon, if you want to take a look at that, of course. But before we get started, all information to work with me one-on-one is below. I am doing a sale November 15th to the 17th for all my services. My website is below, direct scheduling link. 3 different payment options are available at this time, so please take a look at venusianwave.com. For any other questions, my email is also there below. I'm on Instagram and TikTok as well. And without further ado, let's talk about Pluto. Pluto is the planet of mystery, as my little kitty comes running out. Planet of mystery, the planet of transformation, wealth, power, what's underneath it all. Where you have had this transit been going back and forth throughout Capricorn for the past 16 years, and now Aquarius is about to station for the next 20. Hi, sweet baby. We're going to have her here with us. And we're going to start sign by sign. So all the timestamps are below if you want to check out any specific signs. Let's get right into it. Aries, your 11th house. So Capricorn has been transiting your 10th house of career. You've been mastering your role in the world, how people perceive you on that level of learning to be very detached from it, and then also finding yourself at times very attached to it. But now that you've mastered wherever you are at in that realm, you're now bringing that Pluto's transforming you through the house of friendships, community, how you are in that community. It could be friends, it could be family, it could be work, and your good fortune that you gain from it, and also that you bring into it. You're going to see how you influence the people around you and vice versa, and also heal through it, transform through this area of your life. And how will that happen? Well, Pluto will be opposing your 5th house of pleasure, romance, creativity, children, that energy that surrounds all of that. It's important to stay open-hearted, and the best way that you can remain open-hearted and softening in this way is being and having the compassion you need for yourself, knowing that how you treat yourself goes full circle. It's what keeps you not in a blind faith that's detrimental, but it keeps you open. It's just about remaining open. It's not that you have to take in everything or you have to decide heavily on other things. It's about just being open to the experience of where you're being guided forward at this time, where your energy, where your creative energy is guiding you at this time. It's possible that in order to have access to this transformation, you need to listen to what your body is communicating to you. Your instincts are communicating to you. What you can give freely without feeling drained of. You may have a lot to offer and a lot to bring to the table in this area of your life, and Pluto is asking you to go for it at this time. Whatever you've learned and whatever you will continuously learn in the larger group, whatever you may be healing in that larger group, directly affects your heart. And the support you have and allow yourself to have and allow yourself to lean on. You may need to lean on your support more than you're used to at this time, but that will transform the way you work in the world, how much you may want or not to. You might want to publish or share more knowledge if you haven't already. You may want to share this knowledge. There may be a direct space, very Leo energy. You have a certain arena and where you want to share this information. And whether it's the community that you're in now, you may be evolving into other communities, being a part of many, or creating one on your own. Maybe that's something that you're looking forward to, is bringing people around the fire, around your fire, that you're done going here and there and everywhere, if that's the kind of Aries you are, and you're wanting to bring people together in a different way. And that could be like through interviews, through a podcast, through a book, through doing classes. It could be bringing people to a space, right? There's different ways you can go about that. This is Aquarian energy, right? You don't have to be overly attached to be in community, to be in connection. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, Aries? Revolutionizing the area, transforming that area of your life. Very exciting. Looking forward to seeing your evolution as always. Taurus, Taurus rising, sun, moon, if you feel like looking into it. Your 10th house will now be affected. You may want to create, put things out there. You have now been going back and forth through your attachments to how you have been thinking, the way that you've traveled, how you've managed relationships based upon what you think, what you're learning, what you've learned to be attached to or not. Maybe you're putting more art out there. Maybe you're learning not to be attached to what you've learned and how you share things and how you work in the world. Your career, your public roles are beginning to transform. And because for a lot of you, when this is happening, Uranus will also be impacted by it and sextile. So for a lot of you, this could be a very impactful month, depending on your chart, especially Taurus risings. So that shift is going to be, there's going to be many great opportunities in the beginning of this shift from Pluto. Yes. More discernment. How do you speak about your creations? Maybe collaboration. How you're seen in the world, being able to create and put things out there, being more decisive about how you put things out there, boundaries that you have, being in more control of your energy and your space. While at the same time, knowing that you can't control the way people perceive you. Intuitively, you understand the shift that is happening and you feel it coming. So you feel yourself needing to harness the power that you feel, the connections that you're making, and being more straightforward than you're used to being is actually very beneficial. You may also be clearing up any places in your life, no longer giving energy to places that don't deserve the quality that you can bring. That's also transforming your life as well, the decisions that you're making, your career, the impact on your career, the direction you want to go in, how you're being directed and how you would like to direct it is also coming together. It's okay, where does this match up? Where do these come together? And where are they separate? Nothing's ever really separate, but there are polarities, right? Where are they different? It's about getting your mind right and sharing the information, Taurus. Share your mind, share your process if you feel free to or care to. And don't be afraid to have boundaries around what you're choosing to create at this time. Don't be afraid to act as if you are really caring for yourself, really preparing your own home, your own foundation, and how you choose to do that. It's like you're creating a new home in the world. It's not so much like as a cow or bull, you're not behind a pen anymore. The pen is becoming a free roam, free range, free roam. Go roam, go be seen. You won't help it. People are gonna just see you. People are gonna look at you. People are gonna come to you. You've mastered something in an area of life that most people won't master in their lifetime. You have a way of life that you need to share with the world, and it's gonna come through your career and the roles that you begin to play and how those are going to transform your life. Okay, Taurus? Okay, Gemini. 9th house. Now you're about to enter this phase. For someone who already thinks a lot, philosophizes enough, Pluto is going to transform the way you travel, the way you connect, the way you think, the way that affects your relationships. This is an opportunity to shift anything that has felt not so easy. Any areas where you have felt like you have done harm, others have done harm to you, and you want to move forward from. You have the words, the opportunity, the energy, the emotion to do so at this time. You've almost been waiting for this change to do that. This is that general shift. You are going to, it's almost like you're approaching this like as you know in ways, but then in other ways you are still really learning how to approach this, how to approach your insights, how to approach your way of life, how to share that. More opportunities may come in at this time as well. Opportunities for money and love. Whichever one you've been thinking about, hoping for, might surprise you as well. For some of you out there. Yeah. Something or someone you thought was this Knight of Cups is right before your eyes becoming this King of Cups, and maybe this is you. Maturing in your emotions, saying what needs to be said, hearing what needs to be heard, moving forward, taking action, passion, a re-invoking of passion in a way that you haven't felt, in a way that you've needed in this area of your life, because it's almost like you didn't know which direction to go in. And it's possible that you have a conversation with someone or go to an event or do something where you get re-inspired. There is, even just from whatever you're learning about yourself, you feel re-inspired by, after maybe feeling down, feeling much necessary feelings of integration and digestion at this time. And the rebirth is moving through whatever you're wanting to just absorb in your brain. All right, Gemini. This is for Cancer risings, Sun, Moon. This is for your 8th house. Mental health, other people's resources, how you make the money. How about that? You only have as much control as you have right now, Cancer. It's about focus. It's about where you're putting your energy, but it's also, if you are feeling stuck, is it stuck? Or are you digesting something you must need to digest? There's a relief happening, and also your worth. You're not putting a price on your worth. Maybe you're sitting on an opportunity and you don't know why you're not jumping on it. Well, you're going to get the answer. There's something you do need to think a little bit more about at this time, Cancer. Because Cancer risings, you've really learned so much through and transformed through, whether for better or for worse, your one-on-one relationships, your commitments, business or romantic, clients, the intimacy. And now you're transforming through your mental health. Things are going to come up about wealth, things that you didn't know about. Maybe there's been money hidden and all of a sudden you see it, or you've been maybe too controlling over money and all of a sudden there's a change in that direction. Either way, communication, even if it feels hard, is important, and listening Maybe you need to rest in order to understand what you're absorbing. But either way, whatever you're creating, don't rush because you can't rush it. Rushing it may lower and lessen the quality at this time. And you want your quality and your worth to remain high, of course, high esteemed. So any lulls that you're experiencing, even though it's not necessarily normal for you, take it as take a beat. Take a breath, let things go at their proper pace, and notice if what you're coming into, this abundance, these new energy, maybe you're creating differently and you're directing your energy in a certain way and you want something to happen because of it. Notice what toll it's taking on your mental health. And also, you may be blocking a source of income because you're thinking too rationally about it, and it's really within the body, which is the Hangman is saying to you, okay? Listening to your body. Creation from there. All right, Leo. Leo rising, sun or moons. This is for your 7th house. Pluto, you just haven't gone through your work and your health. You may feel more control in those areas of your life or transform through those areas of your life, and now it's about to hit your committed partnerships. What values no longer work here? Where do you want to give away? Where do you need to let go in order for this union to work, in order for you to commit? What's been sitting on your table? What have you been looking at for a while? You have a lot to be grateful for, but there will be some changes. Nothing can move unless you move forward with it. You have to take a look at what you have, see what you can create from there. Maybe you let go of some things to create space for the new to come in. And there's some things that you may need to share. Either way, the divine messages for you, this is very much a Pluto. This is a Pluto card. That's going to be shaken up. Just because you're staring at something, it's not going to make it change. So until Pluto shifts, it'd be best for you to back off, because it will become very apparent, and sudden shifts can happen for better or for worse come Tuesday and come the change from Pluto. You may also be waiting for divine guidance on how to move forward, on what to let go of, what to embrace. Usually the next best thing, or the next thing in your life, is a little more vulnerable, is putting yourself out there, is putting your mind out there, is trusting what you're saying, what you have to say, what you have to offer. Okay, Leo? And the power in Mars right now is giving you extra oomph to be very vocal about what you bring, what you have, your worth. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Leo rising, suns and moons. Okay. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. Ooh, 6th house already coming out, and a 6th. You've just had Pluto move through your house of romance and your pleasures, your attachments to pleasures, what was hidden under all those mysteries, what power it had over you. Where you've given your power and received it, where you're demanding more attention at this time, how ready you feel to take risks in your life and work area, perhaps. And yet there's still something about security. you've noticed that people or others, because there's a couple of cards, there's lots of people out here, maybe even an Aries, who have had a major influence over the way that you give and receive love, the way that you share your life. And you're finding more security in the risks that you're taking because you feel more empowered. You probably have found through that time where certain influences, whether it be people or whatever your pleasures are, had over you and what they were feeding you. And now being able to be less attached, the more healthy risks you want to take, which can be another pleasure and addiction in itself. So you're finding this grounded source, this very responsible part of you that loves. It's like you're starting to get such an amazing feeling just by taking these responsible risks, that anything intuitive that comes from that just feels normal and natural, and it's not going to like take your whole life down. It's not going to change your whole life in like a crazy way. It's actually offering you more support to your life. And that's probably why you felt so called to make certain risks. It's because you've been overcoming maybe a sense of self-doubt during this time. And whether you'd like to know it or not, you can control to a certain extent maybe with your mind, but it was really important for you to learn this and to learn how your energy works as you move into this arena where it's going to move through your work, through your health, how those things are so tied together. And when that looks like on the horizon, it looks like you can take some risks, you can make some changes, you have a more secured sense of self and structure and focus, that whatever had power over you, you now have gained a source of control over in that area. And it's in a way that feels healthy and secure. I was not thinking about Libra yet, so we'll reshuffle. Libra, 5th house. You just had this go through your foundations. Reparenting the home. You probably restructured your home or have held off on it for a while, and now you finally feel like you have a home, or you feel like you have home vibes. Not to get too comfortable there, but you feel like you can create more. This is now a time where you're going to be transformed through your attachments to creativity, your pleasures, the mysteries underneath it all. What has power over you? What you have power over. Unearthing. This is now what are you going to build off of? This is the foundation. You have so much to build off of now. I'm going to pull another card. You now have formed a structure sturdy enough, strong enough to close out any cycles and open up to the next adventure, to where you want to create, to feeling more free at times, and at other times you'll feel like, well, how can I get more free in this area? You maybe feel pushed. I knew another card flipped. You may feel pushed through a portal. You may come up with a great idea that influences you for the next 20 years and becomes like a soul purpose of yours. You may find that you want to have more kids or create more of a family. Either way, you're seeing something very clearly through this change. You're seeing how you have come full circle with your foundation. So if you've started a family, or you're starting a family, whether it is you and your partner and you don't have kids yet, or if you have pets, or you're starting a family, like I said, this is where you acknowledge how far you've come and how much you've cleared in that cycle of your life, whether it's from how you were raised and how you were parented and how you've reparented yourself, but you feel very called to speak about it, to express. This is the time of expression. You will go through 20 years of an expressive going back and forth. But this is the theme that begins this time for you. And what it's founded on is so important to you. And you may want to even talk about that. You may talk about family to the depth of it. Maybe you want to be more creative with children. Maybe you want to work with children more. Either way, whatever you're wanting to do and be inspired and influenced by at this time, you just have to speak to it. There's a lot of gems and wisdom that come at this time of your life. And the lighter in this area, hopefully you will be, and you'll learn how pleasure has, what controls you have over pleasure when you respond to it, and what it has over you and your energy. So exploring those different facets will definitely be a journey for you, Libra rising. Scorpio, 4th house. Pluto is moving from your 3rd house, communication, rituals, extended family, to now your foundations, your caregivers, you as a caregiver, how this is going to transform you, how this Aquarius energy will influence the way you think and have thought about family, maybe in foundations, perhaps, how you've thought about your own home and how you grew up, what has influenced you in many ways. From 5 of Pentacles to 5 of Wands to Page of Wands, reverse Lovers, 5, these were both reversed too. I don't know if I turned them, these are reversed. 5 of Swords and reversed 5 of Pentacles. It looks like you are moving through a huge moment at this time of the transition. Wherever you feel stuck, you're being encouraged to, it's like you need to speak up about what you need at times when you need it most, when you need more faith, when you need to take a deep breath. You may be letting go or saying some things to a Gemini in your life, Scorpio, or you may be addressing a very shady, fucked up situation. It's all about to come out. The more that you empower yourself, the more that what needs to come out will come out. Because you feeling stuck and transforming through this has everything to do with when and if you're ready to hear what's needed to be said, because you were right all along about something, about someone. And it's really going to be nice for your mental health. It's going to show you how intuitive you really are. It's going to be very much validation at this point. And the theme is about really moving through those times when you didn't have what you needed, who you needed. You'll notice that you'll even start to breathe differently. So in times where you really want to rush anything right now, if you can, it's time to take a step back, take a breath, and then move forward and adjust. Yes, something will be revealed, something that you knew was long overdue is finally coming to a close. You finally realize that it's not that you need to be, you don't always need to be, it's like this is about being the bigger person. If you always feel like you need to be the bigger person, or if you need to move on or need to honor who you are now, this is your sign. This is your key. This is your moment. This is your moment to speak up about it. But it's now coming from a place of, not from ego, but from necessity. It's timing. And it is going to change the way that you see how you build from here, and how you dream from here, and how you parent from here, right? This is just an extension of how you give your energy into the world, how you speak that energy. And how you no longer, and now you can smell from a mile away people who think they're good. People who think they've pulled something over you. Let Pluto help guide you and not be too stuck to any certain way of building something. Okay, Scorpio? Let life surprise you a little. Even though you know. Just let it surprise you. Okay. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising signs. Your third house, communication, your rituals, extended family, siblings is now being lit up. For Sag risings, it just went through your second house. You've been learning how to go back and forth from attachment to your resources, to your assets, to your talents, and know how to craft them. You've probably found out a million ways how to do something that you love to do at this point. And now you get to have more freedom in that area. Now it's all down to communication. You're learning how to communicate. You're learning what you need from day to day and how different that may be from day to day, and knowing that's okay. There may be specific people in your life who also influence this transformation, whether they stay in your life or not. You know, they say a reason, season, or a lifetime. I think that will become extremely apparent at this time. You'll have some losses, of course. And it's all about being strong and having strength at heart. It's funny because Leo is really showing up a lot throughout these cards, because that's going to be the opposing sign. Leo will be in your 9th house of travel and philosophy. So you may be influenced by a specific philosophy, astrology, religion, a language, or travel, or whatever you're learning and being educated on this time that will help your experience in communication. At times it will feel like you'll feel maybe so resistant to communicating in a specific way, but it's whatever you've learned will then influence the next step. You need to learn something, and then you have a situation where you need to implement what you've learned. And it's about having compassion for yourself when you want to see beyond, when you want to dream, and knowing that you have the strength to dream, you have the fire in you, you have the passion. And maybe this evolves over time, but you never stop learning, never stop growing. There may be some fire in your communication. The best way that you can come off across the way that you want to during this transit is to be even more boundaried, stubborn with how compassionate and how you respond to yourself and to the wild version of you inside, to the subconscious version of you inside. This is achieving this unconditional way, maybe love way of communicating. And that in itself has you look at the world differently and what you're set out to do with even more power, even more influence, Sag. Beautiful. Good luck to you, Capricorn risings. Aren't you glad this is changing? You're like, can I just have an identity? Yes, you can if you want. But don't be too attached to it. All right, it's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate. It's time to collaborate. Celebrate, collaborate. Share your talents and your resources with the world, and the world will share its fruits with you. This is a time where you have overcome and really have gone through the nitty-gritties of your attachment to who you are and who you've become, who you were, certain titles and roles. It's just made you who you're supposed to be, your authentic self, and be able to share that. What do you have to celebrate, you ask? This. Whatever needs to come out will, especially if at work. You may hear some things at work during this time for the next few months, maybe even next week for some of you. And it's about how you decide to interact with people now. Whom you decide to share your celebratories with. Do you need attachment to that? Right? This is maybe speaking up more too about how you feel and creating your own way and your own view, and how you can structure that in your own beliefs. How you respond to information at this time. Anything that comes your way will show you how secure you are with yourself and your identity, and that will happen. And as this shifts, you'll feel more and more in your identity, grounded in who you are and what you present to the world, no matter how much you've mastered something or not. You're sharing how skilled you are at receiving information and also guiding others. That you may not have it all together, but you found something that works for you and you're willing to share it now at this time because you feel very emotionally secure with yourself. Even though this may be just the beginning, this is how you appear. This may be how you feel, but this is how you appear. And for others of you, people may come to you more for advice. People may recognize how strong you've been standing, how loyal you are as well. You start to see and find relief because you see who you really are. You see how capable and able you are to communicate, to move on, especially from a Gemini situation, if there was a Gemini in your life. You've released, you've let go, you've overcome, and now you have a deep inner knowing about how you move forward, and you might want to make a change, you might want to make money in a different way, and there's a deep security in realizing that you know how and you can. All right? A change of direction, hidden talents revealing themselves to you. Ooh, exciting. This will be more like a playtime for you now. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be like playtime for you now, Capricorn. All right, Aquarius. The star, Aquarius, first house. Pluto's entering your first house. It was just in your 12th house. I'm sure that's going to be a little bit of a relief. People will be looking to you, whether you realize it or not. You may have more eyes on you throughout this transformative process. You may, things that you were hidden to from yourself may be revealed. You may feel surprises come your way, some mysteries come your way, a change, and all of a sudden you're just wanting just a change in your life, more fulfillment. If you're going to be responsible for putting energy into something, you want more decisions, you want to have more options. Great time. Also, moving your money in different ways, doing different jobs, things that you're interested in, finding more fulfillment. Also, maybe redefining what family means for you throughout this time, what your identity is within this fulfillment, what your family life will look like, what your life, you're having more decisions about it. you're now weighing out your options. Where do you feel fulfilled? Where don't you? And things become more clear, but you also become more experimental. Whatever is laid hidden in the 12th house has been revealing itself. Now it's front and center. You may feel deeply aware of your vitality, your mortality, what you want to leave behind at this time, and you may start to now really act on it, whether it's make a plan, or you make that appointment for the haircut, or you go buy the new outfits, or you start to gain a sense of like, I feel something shifting, and you start to really move towards that. All in all, where you decide to put your energy and what you decide to feel responsible for, because that's a loaded question in itself, because you do feel so responsible, but ultimately feeling responsible for your fulfillment in life will also help unlock others as well. And you want to put more of you're just focusing on where you want to put more of your energy. Okay? It's a big time for you. Yay! Pisces, 12th house. 12th house. So now in your Pluto is going into your 12th house. You have, there's a lot going on. And you may be asking the question, where do I put my energy? Well, you may be asked to move on from something that you've put energy into already, that you put time into. But to you, it almost feels good to let go of some of this weight, some of this responsibility. It gives you maybe more room, even though there is a path here to move along on. But it's helping you move through some 12th house, undercover, deep hidden, stuck things in dark corners. Shining a light on them only exposes you to what's been hidden, and it doesn't have to be hard. But it feels like more of an ecliptic experience, because your life is changing right before you, and each step that you take is bringing you out of that place and being more sure about your choices and less doubt. It doesn't have to be physically, but it's moving on emotionally. It's detaching emotionally, because whatever you are attached to is being held onto you, and you're carrying it with you along the way. What is not yours. In Pisces, if not now, a better time to make boundaries, then I don't know when is. The 12th house revealing itself to be, hey, there's some stuff here that's not yours, and you have to look up and move forward. It's not going to hurt anymore after. You may have emotions about it. Ooh, the Queen was first, sorry. You may have emotions about it, but you can handle this. And once you realize how good you feel and realizing how much wasn't yours, you have this thing where you almost forget how good it wasn't. How much you were undervalued or undervaluing yourself, and now is valuing yourself in a different light. It's being exposed to the emotional depth and maturity that you've gained and that you will continue to gain, and what you'll learn about yourself along the way. Everything else will come along with it, Pisces, during this time. Just the messenger. Just the messenger. This emotional strength will become unmatched. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Trust that you're being guided. And then let yourself be guided. All right. So that was the Pluto transit, intuitive pull for each sign in their house, where you've mastered some energy and where that now is going to bring some relief in knowing that you've done it once, you can do it again, and it's going to be different. It's going to be expansive. It's going to be a breath of fresh air. Unexpected changes for those of you who weren't expecting changes. And whoever's not expecting changes, well, I'm sorry to tell you, everyone shall be expecting changes. All information to work with me is below, one-on-one. You can get all my content on YouTube. Check me out there, and we'll see you soon.